Let me tell you my story with phobias or post-traumatic stress anxiety. When I was young, I was like other children, but I was smarter and gave birth to students in school. But I remember some disturbing nightmares, which I thought were normal. My real problems began to appear in high school, where I lost my social spirit and became inclined to isolation and not to face life. I have become very defeatist and have lost hope for an uncertain future due to difficult economic conditions. However, I didn't know the reason for this change in my behavior in addition to mood swings. It is true that I have not lost the love of life, but I have become psychologically weaker and avoid mentioning my name in a thorny topic among people. I felt that my body was alive, but my soul and thoughts were not receptive to reality. I remember that I was a football player at the age of 18 and I was one of the best players in the team and in training. But when it is an official match, my heart starts beating and I start sweating and I feel dizzy as I lose my concentration, which caused me to become a reserve and I lost my place in the team, which increased my lack of self-confidence. And talking about self-confidence, it became repeated a lot. I get opportunities to prove my abilities, but my anger and pessimism discourage me from succeeding in those opportunities. This deep hole in which I fell made me stray fat most of the time and I began to lose my blood and vitality, and one day my spirits were at rock bottom because of the great negativity that was overwhelmed me. I felt an unusual weight on my shoulders, so I said to myself, I can't bear myself anymore. It's a really strange question. But it was very real and like I wasn't me. After this amount of suffering and patience, I urgently needed a job to prove to society that I am a useful person and to prove to myself that I am confident in myself. So I used to work for a few months as a waiter in restaurants or cafes, but I have always known deep down that I am not satisfied with myself, as I am a university graduate fluent in many languages, but work positions were given by nepotism. Obsessive-compulsive disorder began to multiply in my brain until I said enough and decided to go to my father's neurologist as soon as he asked me what was wrong with you. I replied spontaneously and involuntarily, I want to talk. I told him I couldn't stand it any longer. He said, who is it? I burst into tears with tears running down my cheeks. And he said unto me, be strong, my son. But I couldn't stop crying. He started asking questions and I answered, and I felt relaxed and calm. After he wrote me a prescription, I went to the pharmacy and bought the medicine, and since that day I am constantly improving to this day. If you have experienced such a situation, do not hesitate to give others advice in the comments to deal with their condition.